Hey guys, it's Seldom Soul, and today I'm back with another reading for you guys. Today's reading is going to be a Let's Meet Your Shadow Side. Very interesting reading. So pretty much the questions that I'm going to ask are like, what is your shadow side? And then I'm going to get how it manifests into your life, or kind of how it affects you like consciously, and then how to embrace it. So if you're kind of unfamiliar with the term shadow side, it's more of the light and dark aspect, like the yin and the yang. So we all have masculine and feminine energy, light and dark, yin and yang. So pretty much the shadow side would be your dark side, if that makes sense. So it's like, I guess in the 3D world, like, you know, the ego and everything like that, it's deemed as something that's bad. You can think of it as like dark feminine, you know, just kind of like the deeper, darker side of life. So this can be like your biggest fears, your traumas, your triggers and everything like that. But it seems scary, but in reality, it's what makes us who we are as people. So we're going to meet that side of you today. This will especially be good if you've never kind of like dabbled into your shadow side. You can usually do that with shadow work. So some of you may or may not have actually like met your shadow side. It's not really like a physical person that you can meet, but it's more of like understanding your patterns and your triggers and everything like that, and who you are on a darker end of the scale that you don't necessarily show to other people. If you're into astrology, it can also be like your Lilith, or it can be your moon, because your moon is how you feel internally when you're pretty much away from everybody. But yeah, so these are actually, I'm doing it a little bit differently today. So this is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I have the book. This is the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards, but I have the book, and I'm going to have you guys just pause to read, because I don't really feel like reading. So I'm just going to look up in the book each of these cards. So this is pile number 1. I'm going to have you pause to read. Okay. And then pile number 2. Pause to read. Okay, and pile number 3. And you can pause to read here too. Okay, so I'm just going to be using one tarot card deck, the Muerte deck. And yeah, we're going to see, I might end up using different decks along the way if I feel like it's necessary. But yeah, as of right now, it's just this deck and then this oracle deck for picking your piles. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So you guys can go ahead and pick, and I'll see you guys in your piles. Hi, pile number 1. So if you chose this changes card, oracle card, this is your reading. The first card that I had picked for this pile number 1 in general was actually the Reunion of Souls card, but I decided to reshuffle just because I was kind of just pulling them out, and it just didn't feel right. But I feel like it still kind of relates. So Reunion of Souls can kind of be like you literally, quite literally reuniting with another soul, reuniting with yourself, reuniting the light and the dark of your, you know, yourself together. It can mean any of those things, but definitely changes kind of tells me that you could be, or you will be, going through some changes, or you could just be more focused on your shadow side recently and just kind of like the self-care and self-help. So you could be like seeing a therapist, or questioning if you should, which if you're questioning if you should go see somebody like a professional or something like that, or questioning anything, I just released a video a couple days ago where it's pretty much just like, should you take that leap of faith? So you can ask that question, like, should I go to a therapist? And then pick a pile, and then yeah, depending on whatever pile would be, should you, and kind of just some more information on it all and kind of what you're going through. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and check it out. If not, that's fine. But I'm gonna get into your I'm gonna get into your pile. So, oops. So the first question I'm gonna ask is, who is your shadow self? Or like, I guess the personality traits of your shadow self. I have to cough. Crap. Okay. So I'm gonna see, hold on, that was like bending. So I'm just gonna see the shadow side of yourself, like who you are, your shadow side, who your shadow side self is, and then how it manifests in your life and how it affects you consciously. And then how to embrace it, because I feel like we should all embrace our shadow sides because it's part of us. It's what makes us human. So I'm pretty much just gonna see right now who your shadow self is, who you are on the shadow side. So what is my pile number 1's shadow side like? Okay. Who are my pile number 1's? Who is my pile number 1's shadow side like? What is it like? What are my pile number 1's shadow side like? Okay. So your shadow side isn't necessarily deemed as bad, okay? At all. It's just kind of aspects of yourself that are just kind of like naturally there, whether that be from specific triggers or just certain people in your life that came in and kind of messed you up, or just kind of like thoughts that you've always kind of had. So what I'm seeing, well, on the back of the deck is the Seven of Swords. So we have the Three of Pentacles reversed, the Empress reversed, the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Knight of Cups, and then the Chariot. And on the back of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. So from seeing the Seven of Swords in general, I kind of see like you're somebody that's pretty introspective. You are introspective, but I also kind of feel like there's this energy of you not believing that you deserve happiness in your life, or you don't deserve like the finer things in your life. So you could have a lot of self-image problems, body dysmorphia, just kind of like insecurity within your body, or like who you are, you know, like on a personality level. You can be somebody that wants to move forward, but you just don't necessarily know how. You can also be somebody with a super high sex drive, which is not a bad thing. Like I said, the shadow side is just kind of what we don't really show to other people. So this can be who you, or like what you don't show to other people, but it's not necessarily bad at all. Yeah, you can be somebody that also like, maybe you come off as like, I was gonna say maybe you come off as tough to other people, like kind of cold or like cerebral. You're kind of giving me like Aquarius or like Capricorn vibes, but you could be somebody that's super emotional, like on the inside. I'm seeing that with this Knight of Cups right here. Can you guys even see the Knight of Cups? You can a little bit. Here, let me lift these up. I'm so sorry. All right. Yeah, so you guys should be able to see this. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like you're somebody that is emotional, but you don't necessarily like outwardly show that you're emotional, which is fine, you know. That can be from anything. I'm gonna see if I can actually get any more cards about it, because it's kind of like straight to the point. But with this Eight of Pentacles right here, I kind of see that you're somebody that could be unbalanced. Like you could say something one minute and then not mean it the next minute. If that makes sense. So like also kind of Gemini feeling, or you could just be like someone that's like head over heart constantly, which I struggle with that too. So if you got a Capricorn moon and you're an Aquarius, let's start an alliance, because it's not for the weak. All right, what is my pile number 1's shadow side like? So you could be somebody that's more of like a hermit. You can be somebody that's more of a hermit, just because I see the Three of Cups here reversed. People might see you as social, but I feel like you're more introverted. Also with this Santa Muerte card, it's not actually included in the major arcana, but it is an included card in this deck. And this is usually the symbol of like rebirth, like death and rebirth. So I guess you can see it as kind of like the Death card, but the Santa Muerte. If you're familiar with the Santa Muerte, then it might be a lot easier for you to grasp the meaning of it. But yeah, it's pretty much like life, death, like a Grim Reaper in a way. Yeah, so you could be somebody that's pretty ambivert, I guess. Is that the word? Ambivert, but like you're really introverted, but you just do what you have to do. There are some blocks though, like I do see that these reversals are blocks, so you could be somebody that doesn't necessarily want to move forward because you could be, you know, like extremely terrified of change. But you know, like this Chariot right here is like the head over heart thing with the balance, with this one being reversed. So you could be somebody that's like, I want to change, but then not necessarily doing anything in order to get that change. 747 could be significant to you. I just saw it on the clock. Yeah, with this Nine of Pentacles down here, I also kind of see that you're somebody that really craves stability. Like you crave stability and emotional maturity and emotional understanding, whether it's of your emotions or somebody else's emotions. But I definitely see emotional maturity or like a craving for it for yourself, and also a craving for stability, which can also kind of use or kind of manifest into control issues is what I'm seeing. So you could be currently working up like the work ladder or building a foundation from, you know, the past. So you could have been in like a completely different field. If like this is more about like a job, like if this resonates with you, you could have been like in another job field and then you're kind of moving into another one, or, you know, like vice versa. So you could be kind of starting new, because I do see, you know, like the newer cards. But you know, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles, like you pretty much have them all, other than the Knight of Swords, which I guess technically you wouldn't even really want. But yeah, I definitely see that like you're kind of avoidant of starting a new thing because you're kind of giving off the energy that you're scared to start something new, which is completely fine, because you might not also be believing in yourself and your actual abilities. You could be somebody that is also passionate, if not having a high sex drive. You can be somebody that's just, you know, very, very passionate about a direction, and you might not think things through very much. You can kind of feel like internally imbalanced, as well as avoiding big things of change. So like, I guess in this case it can be like, oh, I want to move out, but I'm scared to move out because I don't want to start anything new because it's scary. And you know, that's fine. And it can be like a job or relationship, it could be anything like that. But what's actually interesting here, I completely forgot that I drew this card for you guys, changes. So, you know, like this shadow, you could be going through changes, and this can be like your shadow kind of coming up and being like, hey, I don't want to do this is scary. So it could be literally cock blocking you from success. But that's what I'm seeing for you right now about your shadow side. Like I said, shadow sides are not good or bad, they're neutral. Lighter sides of you are not good or bad, it's all neutral. You know, energy is energy. Every single thing that we experience, good or bad, from an ego perspective, is divine. You know, like we have to have light and dark, and we can't have light without dark, and we can't have dark without light. So it's very beautiful. So I don't want you guys to think that anything that I'm saying right here in general is trying to make you like feel bad, because it's not what I'm doing at all. I think everybody is amazing, and no matter what your shadow is, like you still deserve every single thing that everybody else has or wants, or all your desires and, you know, whatnot. But, you know, this is just more of like a neutral perspective of like what's going on, what patterns you need to be aware of, and like how to embrace it and everything like that. Because, you know, shadow sides can really get in the way. especially if we're trying to manifest the lighter side of life. But, you know, overindulgence in both can be bad. So, you know, it goes both ways. But now we're just going to ask how it manifests in your life, kind of like how it affects you consciously, because the shadow side can kind of be subconscious. So that can be like your triggers. So whenever you go to like a therapist, if you're familiar with therapy, or have been specifically to therapists that specialize in CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, it kind of helps you to like look at the patterns and the triggers and then kind of rewire your brain. So that's what CBT really does. So this is pretty much how it affects you consciously or subconsciously without you knowing, in that aspect. So how it affects you whether you know about it or not. Yes. I'm just gonna ask, how does it affect you? How does my file number one's shadow side affect them? How does my file number one's shadow side affect them? Ooh, hold on, that just fell. Oh. How does shadow side affect my file number one? So I am getting the energy of a relationship. Interesting. So you could have been in a relationship. This guy just fell. All right. There's a lot of cards. So I feel like it affects you in multiple different ways. Let's see. So we have the Two of Cups. We have the Lovers reversed. We have the King of Swords. I can't tell if he wants to be upright or reverse. Upright or reverse. I'm really trying not to get him into the candle. Upright or reverse. Upright or reverse. Oh my gosh, we almost... I'm just gonna do upright because he flew out upright. So I saw him first upright. Whatever. And then we have the Devil reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed, and these two came out. I wasn't necessarily gonna take them. I was just kind of like gonna use them as like help, I guess. But I'm gonna put them in here just cause. All right, and then on the back of the deck we had the Tower. This is the Magician, and this is the Five of Pentacles. Okay. So I am seeing more of like, not necessarily a relationship, but I'm seeing that it affects your relationships. Could be romantic, could be platonic, it could be either. The Two of Cups is usually like romantic, but it really doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be, but it can be. So I feel like it affects you the most by kind of making you into somebody that you're not. Okay, so I see this Emperor right here. This is the Emperor, and then I'm going to be looking at the Emperor, the King of Swords, and then the Queen of Wands reversed. Yeah. So the Emperor kind of tells me that you're somebody that craves stability and control. You could be more focused on the masculine sides of life, which would be the light side of life. So that's more of, you know, working, and then, you know, providing, on the go, pretty much. Like not really taking the time to rest and relax and like rejuvenate. The masculine side is more like go, go, go. Producing, earning, etc. So then I see the King of Swords, which tells me that you kind of come off as the energy that I was explaining in the beginning, where I told you that you kind of come off as cold and demanding. You kind of come off like the King of Swords, which is who I was describing. So you very well could be an air sign. So that's a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I was really feeling Capricorn. It really doesn't matter. Did I say Capricorn, Libra, Aquarius? Or did I say Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? Because I meant Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. But you are coming off more as the King of Swords. So I see that more of your masculine side. So this is like regardless of gender. So you could be male, female, non-binary, anything. Absolutely anything under the sun. And I feel like this is your feminine side right here, this Queen of Wands. So You're definitely in your masculine energy, which is not a bad thing. But when you're more focusing on one rather than the other and not like balancing them, which we saw with the I think it was the Eight of Pentacles reversed, where I was talking about how you kind of lack a little bit of balance like internally. That's where that comes from. So you kind of feeling like you're being overworked or overstimulated, and not really resting or not really getting time to be with yourself because you're just so focused on earning and everything like that. It's kind of because you're in your masculine energy rather than your feminine energy. And I don't think that you do it out of fear of like getting to know yourself. I think you just do it out of not really knowing how to, if that makes more sense. That's kind of like the energy that I'm getting from you. So interesting enough, like with this Tower card right here, I'm kind of feeling like you might be kind of feeling like everything might be like collapsing in a way, or everything that you built is kind of collapsing or just moving extremely quickly and you just can't keep up with it. And that might be because the universe is trying to teach you how to tap into your feminine side, because I was more in my masculine side as well. And then something significant happened in my life and that forced me to come into both. And I'm still working on it, as one does, and you forever will be. But things like that can happen, and I am living proof. So it could seem like the universe is kind of like pushing everything that you've worked for out of the way completely. With this Magician right here, I feel like that's more of kind of foreshadowing what your life kind of could be if you tapped into both. So like your feminine and masculine. The Magician is usually a card of manifesting your own reality. So kind of, he's like a master of all elements, which is amazing. So kind of interesting though, because the Emperor is kind of like the card of all kings. And then the Empress, oh my gosh, we had the Empress in the last ones that I did for you, but it was reversed. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling like you might not have even like grasped the idea of your feminine side. And I feel like you could be somebody that's been like, I really want to sign, I really want things to change in my life, but I feel like you want things to change in your life, and this is your way to change them, is to tap into the darker side of your personality, embracing who you are on a deep level, because there's a completely other different side to you than what you're seeing. And that's fine, I always tell this to people that are kind of going through the same transition, which is a really, really hard one, might I add, but I believe in you. You got this. I feel your energy. You're amazing. But I'm going to share experience from me. So when I was a little bit younger, I'm 22 right now, so when I was a little bit younger, maybe like a couple years ago, I was on my high horse. Like I said previously, I was pretty much in my masculine energy, right? When I was in my last relationship, I was kind of put on a pedestal where it was like, oh my God, you don't do anything wrong. Like you don't, like you're kind of, like it seemed like I had all my shit together. Like I was just constantly like being there for other people. Like I was just super mature for my age and just everything. Like it seemed like I had absolutely everything together. But then when I left that relationship, everything seemed to fall down, and I absolutely had no idea who I was as a person. And it wasn't until something like that happened, like literally a tower moment happened, that I could actually come into my feminine energy. And I would have never even believed that I'd be sitting here making YouTube videos right now. Like if that tower moment didn't happen, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now at all, giving you advice on the same situation. The more you know. It's very weird. So I definitely feel like you're going through a bit of the same thing. With this Devil card reverse, I feel like you might feel like you can't do it. which I hate that word, can't. I hate the word hate too, which I don't like that word. But yeah, with the Devil card, it kind of, like, usually in an upright position, it's more of not being able to run away from your, you know, like your devil tendencies, so like your shadow side in a way. So like things that you're addicted to, like that could be like your phone or like a person or certain thinking patterns and stuff. So you might believe that it's either you believe that you can't get away from them, or let's just figure it out. Let's figure it out together. Can you clarify this Devil in reverse? Because it could be either or. I don't want to tell you like it could be either or, because that's not even giving you an answer. Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me shuffle on camera. Can you clarify the Devil card? Please don't go on the fire. Okay. So I feel like it's more of you kind of feel like you can't move forward and start a new chapter in your life. I guess it is technically both, because with this is the Page of Pentacles reversed, and then this is the Three of Wands upright. So with that Three of Wands upright, I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's going to be kind of like a breakthrough within you and your passion. Yeah, see here with the sun. Beautiful. All right, so there's going to be a breakthrough here with your passions and stuff, where you're going to figure out a little bit more on how to actually break out of this cycle that you're in. But yeah, I'm kind of getting that feeling that you're not really believing in yourself that you can break out of this mental pattern or the situation that you're in right now mentally. Or it could be physically. It could be energetically, subconsciously, consciously. Any like situation where you kind of feel like you're trapped, you kind of feel like you're trapped forever, if that makes sense. But yeah, my pile number ones, that's what I'm getting for the how it affects you consciously. I think it'll be really beneficial now, the second part, for how to embrace it, because I feel like you're probably the group that really wants to know how to fix it rather than, you know, like wanting to know about it more, just because of that Devil being in reverse. Yes. All right, I'm gonna shuffle real quick. You guys have really good energy. Like, I feel like you guys have a lot of mental awareness. It's just kind of like you guys really kind of needed to see the bigger picture of it, because we can actually end up getting really stuck in our limiting beliefs. Not to be that person, but I also have a video about that. I'm pretty sure it's called What is Holding You Back, or I think I have a couple videos like feeling stuck, like what is this teaching you and stuff like that. So you can also look at that. I have a lot of like mental health and like self-help kind of videos, because I know how helpful those can be for others. So you can go and look at that if you want. If not, if this video is helping you, then you can just stay on this video and just, you know, take whatever. Also, remember to take everything with a grain of salt. Like, if I'm saying something that doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to take that message. If a good way to figure out is if you start to feel like a pit in your stomach, like if I say something and you're like, that's just not right. Like, you don't have to like believe me. I guess, like, not really believe me, but that could have been somebody else's message, you know? It doesn't necessarily always have to be like a specific copy and paste like way to go about it. So just kind of take whatever feels good in your soul and what resonates, and what doesn't, just leave it. Because that really stresses me out when I watch them too. So I just want you to know that it's fine and you don't have to take everything. But we're gonna see how you can embrace it, my pile number ones. So how can my pile number ones embrace their shadows? Ooh, not again. How can my pile number ones embrace their shadows? You guys see me freaking shuffling these cards. Be so for real. And then the freaking, oh, guys, you just can't make it up. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, you saw me shuffle these cards. I literally did it on camera. How can my pile number ones embrace How come my pile number one's embrace? Oh my gosh. I'll put these to the side real quick. I'll look at them in a second. Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy again. Oh my gosh. Lots of energies, like, regarding being, like, royalty. I don't really know how that necessarily works. I mean, you could just literally be royalty, but it's not really as common. All right. I couldn't even, it's so funny, I couldn't even get a freaking, like, sentence out. On the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. So, you guys have seen this guy before. This is the Emperor, the Three of Swords reversed, the Lovers upright this time, the Santa Muerte card upright this time, the Hanged Man reversed, the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Swords reversed, the Two of Wands, and the King of Wands. And I'm gonna put this here. Oh my gosh. I move her card over and I see the freaking tower. Okay. If you haven't seen any of my videos prior to this doesn't usually happen. So I promise, like, I pinky promise that this isn't me being a fraud. It just it's just your message. So let me kind of sit for a second and kind of figure out how you can embrace this, just to kind of get messages. Okay, so I'm kind of feeling like with this Emperor card right here, since the Emperor has been such a huge energy in your reading, it's been upright both times, you're being called to use what you've learned in your masculine energy in order to allow yourself to let life happen. I know that kind of sounds confusing, but how I'm kind of getting it is that, you know, like, this reading isn't telling you to completely disregard your, you know, your masculine energy. You know, you need both in order to feel complete within yourself. But it's kind of telling you to just utilize what you have learned in order to actively work towards resting. So, like, that would be finishing up all your projects that you are working on right now in order to plan for rest. That could be ending certain things. If you are familiar with human design, if you're not, you really should be. Like, I love human design. It's so good if you really want to, like, dive deep into who you are. Also gene keys, but if you are familiar with it, you could be a generator, which is a very good possibility because it's like 70% of the population. But I definitely feel like you find purpose, like, you know, being in your masculine energy, which is completely fine, you know? There's nothing wrong with that ever. But yeah, so, like, kind of using that energy, utilizing it to plan for rest. So that could even be like, if you're thinking about quitting a job because you just don't like it anymore, like, planning that out and using that, you know, your need for control and order in order to enjoy your life. I feel like that'd be a really, really good transition for you, especially because I feel like you haven't tapped into your feminine energy, like, hardly ever. You could have just felt not safe, or you just could be somebody that has a little bit more masculine energy in themselves, which is also fine. But yeah, like with this Santa Muerte card right here, you're a little bit scared of, like, a rebirth, but maybe you initiating that rebirth and kind of controlling it in that way could help you get some more experience in your feminine side. So, like, that could be sitting with yourself and, like actually taking the time to, like, write about how you feel and be like, is this job serving me? Is this relationship serving me? And if you say no, then you can be like, okay, what steps can I take in order to get this relationship out of my life? so that I feel better emotionally, because things can really, really affect you emotionally and physically. Like, let's say, I guess, like, subconsciously. So let's say you're in a job, right? You hate it. You really, really don't like it, even though I just said hate. You really don't like it. And you're just kind of like, oh, I do it for the money, you know? But then you quit that job and you feel so much better, even though you don't necessarily have any money. Subconsciously, it's seriously been affecting your energy. But if you're in this go mode, this masculine energy, which again, there's nothing wrong with, you could kind of feel like you need to keep going. You know, like you could kind of be avoiding your feminine side, which sometimes in a certain way can be an act of self dislike, because self-love is more about listening to yourself and doing things that make you feel good. But if you're not tapped into this, it can kind of build this resentment within yourself and kind of tell you that you don't matter, or like you're not important, and that's what we don't want. Because I feel like you're not there yet, but I feel like you could be going down the path of that, which isn't really, beneficial for you. Because, we all deserve to be happy in what we're doing, and we all deserve to love ourselves. So, yeah, definitely, like, kind of taking a little bit more control in your life. Like, instead of trying to control outside things that you can't control, look in and see what you can control, and then make steps to get rid of those or to create those. And when you're actually figuring out what it is that you want, like on a feminine side of like what you're, craving, emotionally want, is when you can use your masculine side in order to create those things for your feminine side. Yeah, because then you can figure out right here with this Two of Wands, you can figure out what direction you want to go into. And then in turn, it'll make you more of a passionate person in your masculine side, and then it'll make you more emotionally intuitive person in your emotional side, which is a really good blend. Really beautiful. Yeah, because I'm getting all that information from like the Three of Swords, because that, I feel like you're kind of like feeling a little beat down by your life in general and like what's going on in it. So I definitely think that you taking control of the things that you can control, and then tapping in intuitively with this Queen of Cups right here, will definitely teach you how to provide for yourself better. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you, pile number one. I know that was kind of a lot, but I really think that this is probably the longest like piles I've ever really done. So very interesting, and I really, really liked your guys' energy, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. But yeah, like I said earlier, I have other videos if you're really, really interested, and if you stayed till the end, I would love to hear your story or like any comments that you have for me. But yeah, pile number one, other than that, I really wish you luck on your journey to finding your shadow self. And like I said, I have other videos if you're interested that kind of, are in the same realm of that. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Hi, pile number two. If you chose this truth card for my oracle deck, then this is your reading. Pretty self-explanatory. I feel like this is more of, you guys might be feeling more introspective, or just trying to figure out the truth of how you, or who you are as a person, or yeah, I guess like kind of how you are as a person. But I definitely feel like you're in this kind of introspective kind of energy. Yeah, for sure. I just got a headache on the right side of my head, like almost like a tension in a way. So usually the left side of my head is someone like a spirit guide, and then the right side of my head is more of like an ancestor. So there could be like a particular person in your energy that's helping you. It could be like a grandfather, grandmother, like anybody that's passed. I'm kind of getting it really strong. It feels more of like a male figure. So that could be significant for you or somebody. Like if it's not significant, it could be like an ancestor in your line that you haven't yet met, or when I say yet, I mean like, you know, whenever you pass and stuff like that, or like somebody that you don't remember meeting, could be in your energy. Very soft energy, very light, very nice, calming energy. Yeah, so I mean that could be significant for you. I'm not like a medium or anything. I guess technically I would be. But if you missed the intro, we're pretty much gonna do a let's meet your shadow self. So I'm gonna be asking what is your shadow side, kind of like traits of your shadow side, and then how it manifests in your life or how it affects you consciously, and then how to embrace it. So this is gonna be a pretty interesting reading. Pile number 1's ran pretty long, so I expect nothing less. But yeah, so far it's been really fun, and you guys seem like you have really chill energy, so I'm happy to be here, happy to be reading for you guys. And yeah, let's just get started. So I'm just gonna shuffle the deck. I'm using the Simply Muerte deck. I'll have that link below. I list all of my decks below, so. Randomly, you could be somebody with ADHD. I feel like my ADHD is kind of running a little cray-cray right now. Take that if it resonates. If not, that's fine. Also, disclaimer, if anything that I'm saying kind of feels wrong or iffy or just kind of like leaves a pit in your stomach, don't take it, okay? It's not worth it, okay? Don't stress yourself out over something that just doesn't resonate, and just take whatever makes you feel good, you know? Like, even if it's like let's say I'm saying things that you deem as like bad on a level, since we are talking about the shadow side, if it feels kind of good to be like, you know what, I am like that, and so what, then you can take it. But if it's like, I'm just really not like that, don't take it. Don't stress yourself out. It's not that big of a deal, you know? Yeah, take whatever feels good in your soul. I won't be offended, I promise. All right, so I'm just gonna shuffle. And we're gonna meet your shadow side. So let's meet pile number 2's shadow side. What is pile number 2's shadow side like? What am I pile number 2's shadow side like? I don't know if I want to take these. It's kind of a lot. What am I pile number 2's shadow side like? What's my pile number 2's shadow side like? What's my pile number 2's shadow side like? So whenever cards come out kind of like this, I kind of see them as hidden. In a way, or like something that you wouldn't necessarily off the top of your head know about. Shadow side, shadow side. My pile number 2's. Oh shoot, okay. What are my pile number 2's shadow side like? What's my pile number 2's shadow side like? Interesting. Okay, so like first, right off the bat, I feel like you're more of an experienced person. I feel like you might have done a lot of, yeah, especially with this 7 of Pentacles. Okay, before I start, we have the 8 of Pentacles upright, the 8 of Wands reversed, we have the Chariot, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Sun, and then we have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. And then on the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Pentacles upright. So, like I was saying, based off of this energy, I definitely feel like you're somebody that is a more seasoned spiritual person. You don't necessarily have to be spiritual. I'm not really seeing like any indications of spirituality, so you know, it doesn't have to be, but I definitely think that you're somebody that has tapped into their shadow side, mainly because you could either honestly feel safer in your shadow side, or you could just be somebody that well, I don't necessarily see, like, if it resonates, you can be somebody that dwells on the past, but I'm not necessarily seeing that just because the Chariot's here. But I definitely feel like you were somebody previously, like your shadow self previous, was somebody that was extremely anxious. I'm feeling like this is a past energy. I feel like now you could be somebody that could be a little bit impatient. 555, I just saw that on the deck, so or not the deck, sorry. I just saw that on the clock. yeah, you could be somebody that is a little bit impatient, but I feel like you've really done the work. So you could have been somebody that went to see a lot of therapists. You could be somebody that's taking, you know, medication for your mental health. Somebody that's spiritual, so has done shadow work. You could also be a little bit older in your life, so you could have, you know, been able to work through some of that stuff, just kind of getting, you know, wiser with age and whatnot. But yeah, overall, I feel like you're a pretty balanced person. I feel like you kind of always have been. This can be significant for you, but you could be a Sagittarius moon. If not, you know, leave it. But for some of you, I definitely feel Sagittarius moon energy, like healed Sagittarius moon, for sure. Or like Gemini moon, but I'm really feeling Sagittarius. Yeah, interesting. I feel like maybe you could have just been somebody that was raised, you know, in a healthy environment in general. But I definitely feel like there's been some contemplation. So, you know, kudos to you, dude. Like, it really takes a lot of work to be able to understand yourself emotionally. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of introspection, especially with that Seven of Pentacles right here. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any more messages, but I definitely feel like you've, I don't want to say mastered, just because, you know, we're always learning. It's a constant wheel. It's always spinning. But as of right now, I feel like you're in a really good place, mentally, and, you know, in your shadow side. Like, I feel like you've embraced it, very, very nicely and very well, whether you believe it or not, but I feel like you believe it. If you're not resonating with this, maybe it's just not your pile, but I definitely feel like you're, you know, you've worked your ass off in order to be where you're at right now, mentally. And, you know, it's amazing. Let's just see what's on the back of this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely feeling like you could have been to like a therapist, or you could even be a therapist. You could also be like me and be like a reader, like an intuitive reader. So, you know, when you're an intuitive reader, particularly like me, you kind of have to go through like a lot of your emotions. Like, it's almost like being a therapist in a way, where it's like you're feeling all of these emotions from other people. So it's like, you know, like a therapist is able to, you know, like pick them up like in a cerebral way. Intuitive readers are able to pick them up in an intuitive way and feel them, especially me in particular. So you could be somebody that's like that as well. But usually if you are, you kind of have to tap into that darker side of yourself, because you're dealing with darker energies of other people, and it kind of sometimes can trigger darker energies within you. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting for you guys in your shadow side. So I feel like you guys are pretty familiar with your shadow side, which is really beautiful. I'm really happy for you guys. Like, that's amazing. Don't ever make anybody make you feel bad about that, because, you know, I say that just because people will be like, oh, good for you, you know, like backhanded compliments. But, you know, we come from a society that being mentally healthy is not a normal thing. It should be. Not saying that it's not normal, but it's not something that you see often, because a lot of people are stuck in their ways. So if you're resonating with this pile, like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you did an amazing job, and I'm really, really glad that you're feeling so happy and so, like, I'm really happy that you showed yourself that self-love and actually, you know, like, worked through your problems and the things that you were experiencing. Like, that's very noble of you, and I'm really, really proud of you. I'm proud of all my viewers, if you're coming from a different pile. But, you know, I strive for everybody to feel included, but you guys are doing great. I'm really happy. All right, so we're gonna see how it manifests in your life now. Yeah, we're gonna see how your shadow side manifests. I feel like you're aware of shadow sides. You know, like when you're working with, you know, light and dark sides, you kind of have to have both in order to kind of have more balance. But I feel like you understand that. I just wanted to say that for my viewers, just in case they're not really familiar with the shadow sides and stuff. But I feel like you guys are probably pretty aware. But yeah, we're gonna see how it manifests. How does my pile number 2's shadow side manifest in their life? This is very interesting for me to see as well, because I'm somebody that's still working towards it. So I can kind of see like how it manifests in real life. How do my pile number 2's shadow side manifest in real life? I just randomly got like the green giant kind of energy. It's really funny. Okay. All right. So we have the Three of Wands, the World, the Three of Cups, the Emperor, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Cups, as well as the Two of Wands on the back of the deck. So, give me a second real quick and let me kind of, I was getting messages, but I'm just gonna see if I can get any more. Okay, so I feel like it manifests for you. Okay, so when I see this Queen of Swords, right? I kind of see that's how you come off to people, like, emotionally, and that's not a bad thing at all. I feel like when you're kind of like emotionally aware of your shadow side, most of the time your body like naturally kind of protects it. So you could be this Queen of Swords, which is somebody that, you know, knows what they want. This is a more masculine, feminine person. So like your feminine side could also like lean a little bit more towards the masculine side, which is fine. You know, it all manifests in a different way. But I feel like since you have worked on your shadow side before, I feel like this Queen of Swords kind of comes up to anybody that isn't on your level. Like, I feel like you're automatically a no bullshit detector just in your aura, because I feel like you're naturally attracting people. Like this Three of Cups, like you're naturally attracting people into your energy in your auric field, and you're having fun, and you're able to, you know, like attract things that you enjoy, that you love doing, and etc., etc. I feel like it manifests as you also getting opportunities to experience new things, as well as brings you a lot more stability in your masculine energy. Your masculine energy can be a little bit more feminine, and your feminine energy can be a little bit more masculine, which is actually extremely interesting, and actually really beautiful. I really like the idea of that. Actually, it's very interesting. But yeah, since you have kind of, you know, worked on yourself in a shadow aspect, like the universe is actually giving you opportunities in your life, because you're vibrating at such a high frequency when you're healing, especially in your feminine energy, like you're healing both of them and bringing them together. The universe will reward you with things, as well as people will come up to you and be like, hey, do you want to do this? Hey, do you want to do that? Because you vibrate at such a high frequency that people just want to be around you, and they feel like you deserve the things that you want because you vibrate at the energy of knowing that you do. If you're familiar with human design, which you could be, you can be a projector like me. If you're not familiar with human design, it might be really interesting for you to look at. I actually mentioned it in pile number 1. So interesting, maybe I'll just include it in every single pile today. But definitely getting projector vibes, which a projector, if you don't know, is more of somebody that we kind of have like this need for recognition, but also we have to wait to be invited for that recognition. So you could have mastered that. So if somebody's like let's say you know something about music, right? And this person walks in, like this random person, right? And they're talking about music and you know the answer to that, but you don't say anything until the person turns around and is like, hey, do you happen to know blah, 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 blah? And then you're like, yeah, I do. And whenever the person invites you into that conversation is when you'll actually be heard correctly. Like, if you were to be like chiming in, like butting into the conversation and being like, yeah, I know this and this and this, they can kind of feel like this energy of you being too permeating into their auric field, which is what a projector does. It actually goes into your, I think it's the solar plexus, and actually can tell exactly how that person feels and who they are as a person. And it can feel really like, they describe it as violating, but it's only violating to people that aren't aware of themselves and that get triggered easily by people being happy and living confidently. There's a lot of misinformation, so, you know, do your research at your own risk. But yeah, you could be a projector. I'm definitely getting that vibe. Also, what I'm seeing is that there could be a decision that you're having to make. It's just kind of like a side energy. So there could be a decision that you're trying to make right now, currently in your life. I don't necessarily know what that decision is, but it's coming up in your energy. But I feel like you kind of got it under control, because I was gonna be like, should I get energy about it? But I'm also kind of feeling like you know, and I'm also getting the phrase of like everything that you like, all the answers are within you. I'm getting that as well. So I feel like you already know what you should be doing. But yeah, that's what I'm getting, how it manifests in your life. Like it brings you blessings, and that's amazing. Wow. Okay, cool. So this is pretty straightforward, but beautiful. Alrighty, so let's see. Let's do the next one, which is how to embrace it. So, how should my pile number 2s embrace their shadow self? Which I feel like you've already done it, but you know, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you guys have, you know, great awareness of your shadow self, so you don't deserve to know how to embrace it, because there can be other messages that you need to know. I've had lots and lots of different messages coming through for many different piles after a situation similar. So I don't know where I was getting with that, but we're gonna see how you should, or how you can embrace your shadow side. How can my pile number 2s, I almost said pile number 3, so you could be also finding some messages in pile number 3. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. But how can my pile number 2s embrace their shadow side? How can my pile number 2s embrace their shadow side? How can my pile number 2s embrace their shadow side? I'm also getting that, oh my gosh, okay. I'm also getting that Lana Del Rey song, the when you know, you know. When you know, you know. So that could be significant. Sorry, I'm like trying to set these up. Okay, what way do you want to go? Dang, what is it with this Emperor today? This Emperor is making an appearance for real. This came up upright, I promise, because I saw it fly out upright. This one also came out upright because I saw it fly out that way as well. Okay, let me make sure there's no cards underneath me. I don't think there are. Okay, let me sit here for a second. This is the 5 of Wands, the Page of Swords reversed, the Knight of Swords upright, the Page of Pentacles reversed, the 9 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, Temperance reversed, the 3 of Wands reversed, the Emperor, and then Strength. I'm actually going to see if this one wants to be upright or reversed. Okay, that says upright. I was kind of feeling like it should be upright, just intuitively, but I do believe that Temperance is reversed because I saw it fly out reversed. Okay, So give me a second to figure out the energies, and I'll be right back with you. Okay. So while you have discovered yourself like on a shadow aspect, I don't think you fully have. I don't think we ever fully do. But there could be, like with this truth card right here, the one that I picked for pile number 2, you could like have a lot of mental awareness of your shadow self, but you could also still not know who you are and what you're meant to do. Yeah. I'm getting that this time right now, I feel like since you're feeling a lot of, I was getting like a lot of happiness, like you're feeling a lot of like fulfillment, but I'm kind of getting the energy that there needs to be a decision that you have to make. And I feel like you could be moving very, very quickly. And I feel like to fully embrace your feminine side, of course, which the feminine side is more of a slow moving energy, I feel like right now, because I do feel like there's turmoil, and with that turmoil, I feel like the universe is kind of telling you to slow down a little bit. And it's not like I don't think that you intuitively know this already. I just feel like you need to be told, just because it needs to be confirmed. Because I feel like subconsciously, you know that this needs to be slowed down a little bit. You could be somebody that finally feels alive for the first time ever, just, constantly feeling like trapped, and you're just like, hell yeah, dude, like I feel great, like I don't feel shackled anymore. But there's an energy of not getting too caught up in the good things that are happening. Like, don't get too greedy and don't always expect things to happen. And I know. I was just about to say something that's like counterintuitive, and you're probably like, oh my God, but with ups comes downs. That's just the way of life. And just because somebody has, worked on their shadow self, doesn't necessarily mean that they won't experience negativity in their life. And I know that it sucks, because it's like, I've experienced negativity and like this and that, and I don't deserve that. Like, I've worked my ass off in order to get where I'm at right now, and it's true. But the human experience isn't always white. It's black and white. And just because black is more gray now doesn't mean that it won't be black again, if you're kind of catching my drift. This isn't about colors, by the way. This is about energy. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting the feeling that your guides and your ancestors are kind of telling you to just slow down and like take it in. Be in that feminine energy. Be in there for a little bit longer. Like, embrace where you're at right now in your life, and don't try to go. Like, there's still a little bit of balance that needs to happen. I feel like that might be the one thing that you do need to work on, is to balance the masculine and the feminine. Like, don't be in one or the other constantly. Like, you can be in one or the other if you're trying to heal either or, but really try to merge them together, because then you'll also have that energy of being calm and collective, where you're like, the universe gives me everything that I need. And then you'll also have that masculine side of you where it's like, okay, the universe gave me what I need and now I'm gonna work my ass off to make it bigger and better. You know what I mean? Like, you're constantly going up that, it's like kind of like you're constantly going up that ladder, but you're taking breaks after going up like 100 stairs. It's literally pretty much how it is. But I feel like that's the truth that you're seeking. I feel like there is a truth that you're seeking, and I feel like it's more of an energy of who you are as a person. And I think that slowing down will really show you the gold, that the treasure that you've been seriously trying to get at that you didn't even know that you needed. It's like you're walking in a cave and then you trip over a freaking, you trip over like what you thought was a rock, and you're like, frick the universe, like, why did I have to fall? Like, that's so stupid. And then you turn around and it's freaking treasure chest. And it's like, oh, well, if I change my perspective, you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of like the energy that you're in right now, which is very interesting. Like, I've never really channeled this kind of energy before. But that's kind of how I'm getting for how to embrace it, because, you know, Spirit's giving you a lot of things, especially here with this Three of Wands. Like, Spirit is giving you what it is that you need, but it's more telling you to kind of like, literally this, plant your seeds. Plant your seeds, let them grow, watch them grow. But don't try to overfeed. Don't try to, you know, like put them in the sun for too long, because it's overkill. You know what I mean? It's overkill. Like, if you give a plant a lot of sun trying to make it grow faster, you're just gonna kill it, because you're gonna burn it up, or you're gonna drown it if you give it too much water. Like, it has to have a certain amount. It has to have that balance. So that's what I'm getting for the how to embrace it. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you, pile number 2. Oh my gosh, I almost dropped the whole tripod. I think that's all I have for you though, pile number 2. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and if you have any more like questions, or if you want to share your story, like, just let me know. Just comment down below. I read pretty much every single thing, and I'll reply. But yeah, if you're interested in any of the other videos that I have on my channel, I do have more, so you can go ahead and look at that if you're interested. If you're not, that's fine, but I do hope to see you guys in the next one, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Pile number 2, wait, oh my gosh. Okay, so when I stopped recording this, I was like, I started singing that Billie Eilish song. I don't know what it is, but it's like, the old me is still me, and maybe the real me, and I think she's pretty. If that's not a song that I feel like you guys will absolutely relate to, oh my gosh. Like, I said that and I was like, wait a minute. Well, hold on a second. I need to tell my pile number 2s. So here I am telling you guys. Okay, bye. Hi, pile number 3. If you chose this emotional release oracle card, this is your reading. Very interesting. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, emotional release, you could be somebody that needs to tap into their feminine side, because your feminine side is more of your emotional side, as well as your shadow side, dark side, is also more emotional. Yeah, so you could be somebody that is going through a lot right now, like mentally, or you just really need to have a good emotional release. And I'm going to try to help you today. I'm going to try to help you with that. So these videos today have been a little bit long. Probably like running about 30 minutes each. So there's going to be some messages in here. But pretty much the questions I'm going to ask, if you missed the intro, is your shadow side. So I'm going to kind of get some traits of your shadow side. And then I'm going to see how it manifests in your life and how it affects you consciously. And then how to embrace it. So we're gonna get right into it. I feel like a beauty guru. Let's get on with the video. Me and my Bethany Moda phase. It wasn't a phase. I don't think it was a phase. All right. Oh. Hello. Interesting. Okie dokie. So, what? I almost said pile number 1s. So you might have been maybe wanting to pick pile number 1. So this could be your sign that there might be some messages in pile number 1 for you. But if not, oh, also I've been telling all the piles this. If I say anything that just doesn't really resonate, like, you really don't have to take it. I promise I won't be mad. But like if I say something and you're just like, that's just not me, it's just not you, you know, and that's completely fine. And just leave it, you know, maybe it could have just been for somebody else. So I won't be offended, just leave it. Just leave it, because I want you to be feeling good about this, because this is kind of a vulnerable, you know, like, it's almost like a therapist, like, picking you apart. Like, I feel like that's what I'm doing right now, because I'm literally getting into your deep, dark secrets, and you barely even know me. But, you know, I do this with the best intention. You guys are great. All of my viewers are great. Everybody is great. And I do this with the utmost love and respect for you as a person. And I don't judge. This is a non-judgmental space, because we all have our shit. We all go through everything, okay? So I don't want you to feel judged. Like, you're completely safe in this environment. And if I ever say anything that offends you, it is not my intention at all. At all. So, with that being said, we're just gonna tap in. If this video is uncomfortable for you, you also don't have to watch it. I won't be mad. I have other videos on my channel, and if you just don't resonate with my energy, then maybe I'm just not the tarot card reader for you, and that's okay. Because, you know, we all match with our energy. So if we don't match energetically, that doesn't mean that you're less or I'm less, or, you know, vice versa. That just means that we're just not an energetic match at the time, which is fine. But we're gonna see your shadow side. What is my pile number 3's shadow side like? What is my pile number 3's shadow side like? What's my pile number 3's shadow side like? Ooh. Okay. So we have the 6 of Wands reversed. We have the World card reversed. We have the 9 of Cups upright. We have the 5 of Swords upright. Upright or reversed? Alright, that one to go to reverse. We have the 8 of Wands reversed. And then we have the Moon card. I'll put that here. Okie dokie. Give me a second real quick to kind of get your energies in, and I'll be right with you. Okay, so I kind of feel like your guys' shadow self is almost like an energy of you not really believing that you deserve success or victory or like your biggest desires and your dreams. I feel like you're somebody that is very wishful and has a lot of desires and dreams, but I feel like you might feel like you lack passion to go towards your goals. You also could constantly kind of question if what you're doing is what you want to do. Kind of like a little bit of obsessive kind of thinking about if what you're doing is correct, or if you'll ever make it, or yeah, just like kind of second guessing yourself. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Especially with this Moon card here, it's like deception. So I feel like you're in the energy of deceiving yourself. Like you know, you believe that you're not gonna be victorious, you know, which is just not true. Or you just believe that you don't deserve it, which is, again, not true. But that's what I'm seeing, and that's the shadow side. I feel like whether you know, like live in this energy or not, I feel like deep down you feel like you might not be successful, or you feel like you might not deserve to be successful. this could be maybe like you've done something in your past that you're not really like proud of, so you're like, oh, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that, which is not true. I feel like every single person, you know, deserves a second chance and to be happy. So, you know, it's just not accurate. But yeah, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting for who your shadow self is. I definitely feel like you're a lot of the time in your head, and I feel like with this card you're definitely back and forth a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory for me. Like, the energy's pretty clear-cut and direct for me in this pile, which is really good for me personally. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for that. So we're gonna move on actually to how it affects you consciously. So how it affects your everyday life. Yes. Oh. There's this one song, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it's Amir Van, and I think it starts like, it's like, all my life I broke everything I touch, like my damn phone screen, so I don't hear it when it rings. I can't remember exactly what the name is of it, but it's Amir Van or Van. But yeah, let's just get into your, maybe it's I'm sorry. I'm sorry or Sorry by Amir Van. I think it is I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. So we're gonna see how it affects you. How does my pile number 3 shadow side affect them in their day-to-day life? How does my pile number 3 shadow self affect them in their day-to-day life? So I feel like mostly it's subconscious, because a lot of them are coming out backwards. All of them have. But yeah, all right. We're gonna see how it affects you. All my life, I broke everything I touch, like my damn phone screen, so I hear when it rings. I wouldn't answer anyway. Afraid of conversation, they lead to temptation. All right. How it affects you subconsciously. Interesting. You know, I feel like overall you're a pretty balanced person. I feel like just the shadow of you kind of questioning if what you're doing is correct is just kind of apparent, because there with the Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Knight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. But yeah, with that Knight of Pentacles, I definitely feel like you, it might manifest as like a lack of stability. I feel like there is balance though. Like, I feel like you genuinely have your shit together. Like, the Three of Swords here, right here, is kind of telling me that there's like a loss or like a heartbreak or just kind of like feeling down. But I feel like you've moved away from that kind of energy, especially there with the Chariot and the Six of Pentacles, as well as the Eight of Pentacles. Like, very like the Eight of Pentacles is balance. The Six of Pentacles, or actually I think it might be the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is like peace and happiness and, you know, like clarity. But I feel like, maybe not clarity, but peace. But yeah, I feel like there's just this instability, kind of like you feel unstable when in reality you have a lot of stability. And you know, actually, I kind of got this idea just now where, you know, when you're in like a toxic relationship, right? Like you've been in one for many years and then you meet somebody new that's like completely opposite, and they're completely healthy and they're happy and, you know, they love you and whatnot. And you're still in this toxic energy of, you know, the toxic ex that you have. And they say that it's the hardest love to go through is genuine love after fake love. And I feel like you've been in this energy of fake love, fake understanding of yourself and who you are as a person, and you're kind of feeling unstable with this newfound peace and this newfound clarity in your life. Interesting. The song An Overdue Goodbye by Bruno Plum could be a good song for you. I love that song, but that's kind of what I started thinking about when I said peace and clarity. But yeah, so you could be kind of feeling those feelings of kind of feeling unstable because you're stable for once. And you're like, okay, well, everything's stable now, so like when is it going to fall apart? And it's not at all. But you could just be used to it falling apart. Like, actually. But it manifests as, like, you have a lot of balance. Like, you have a lot of strength within yourself, and you're starting new things, and that could be extremely scary. And I think that that's what's going on here. And also in relationships, like, it almost is giving me the energy of like you're sad to like move on from who you used to be. And I just said this in pile number 2, but the song Skinny by Billie Eilish could be significant as well. I just listened to that before I did your pile, actually, because I was making sure to know what song it was. Yeah. Very interesting stuff, actually. I mean, you guys are... My pile number 3s are always, like, the most self-explanatory piles. Like, your guys' energy is so direct, which I love. But, yeah, I literally think that I'm gonna move on now. But that's the energy that I'm getting for you guys. Alright, let's move on to how you can embrace it now. How can my pile number 3s embrace their shadow side? How can my pile number 3s embrace their shadow side? I'm gonna do one more good shuffle. All right. Let's see. How can my pile number 3s embrace their shadow side? I am not taking all of those. Hold on. Right. The only still me, maybe the real me, and I think she's pretty. Okay. So we have the Chariot, the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Swords reversed, the Ten of Swords upright, the Devil, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. I feel like how to embrace it is to go into it head on. That's what I'm getting here. The Chariot is very apparent in your reading. It's apparent in all of them, but especially this one. I feel like with that Ten of Cups right there, it's just such a beautiful energy that I feel like you want to be in so badly. But the way to embrace it, like the fear and the control and the heaviness, is just to go into it fully and embrace it. Literally, like, I'm like, how to embrace it? You embrace it. That's how you do it. So I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit better. But yeah, like embracing it by letting yourself feel the things that you feel, as well as diving in head first into it. Because I don't think that you're avoiding it, but I think that allowing it to happen and being in it a little bit more can help you with this transition in your life. Like, you don't necessarily have to let go of who you were as a person, just the patterns, but maybe looking within and seeing what you liked about yourself, what you're so scared of letting go of, and how you can implement that still into your life so that you don't feel like you're losing such a huge piece of yourself. Because you can be traumatized into growth, which is very, very hard to deal with, like especially if it was something like a betrayal. And when you're first going through your, like your healing process, it can be really hard, especially the first time, because you're getting rid of every single thing that has traumatized you in your life, every single trigger. It's like you're getting rid of everything that you've ever known. It's terrifying because that's what kept you safe at one point. And I guess it's kind of asking you to discern what's fear and what's genuinely yourself. Because if you're keeping, like, let's say you're keeping a person around, this is like the easiest way I can explain it. Let's say you're keeping around that toxic ex that I was talking about. You're keeping them around out of fear that you're not going to succeed or find anything better. And that's toxic because it's not true. So that's a limiting belief. And that's kind of what Spirit's asking you to discern if it's yourself or if it's a limiting belief. And, if it's yourself, then you have to learn how to embrace that and bring that with you as you move forward. But if it's a limiting belief, then it's a negative pattern, and that's why that devil's there. Like, you're being hyper aware of your more shadow aspects that aren't serving you, like your patterns. And that's a good thing. So I'm really getting the feeling that you're needing to sit with it, because since I see the Six of Pentacles right here, it's kind of telling me that you kind of have all the time in the world, even though you don't feel like it, because time is just a concept. Time really is a concept for sure, but you're having a lot of like fighting back and forth, and it's because you're still holding on to things that aren't you anymore, or that were you when you needed to survive. And that's not who you are anymore, and that's okay. And it's really sad. It's so sad. But it's even sadder to hold on to something that kept you in such a dark place for so long. Like, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to move forward. You deserve victory. You deserve it. No matter your past, you deserve it. And embracing who you are as a person is the first step. Embracing your dark side, embracing who you've been and who you're going to be and who you are right now. But definitely getting those limiting beliefs, just putting them out on paper. A really good way to release it is to put them out on paper and then kind of burn them. It's really, really easy to release them that way, because I know I can just sit here and tell you and give you advice all the time, but you're probably like, how? Burning it is a really good way. Also, kind of like talking it out and like keeping a window open and like letting it go out of the window with the air. Also talking into the air, sitting in the sun, and just kind of like taking deep breaths. And like, it's all about intention. So like, if you're doing something, like let's say you're swimming in the ocean, which the ocean is really good for that because the waves come and they like, it's almost like sitting on a stream, and it's like you're letting everything wash out of you. You can even go with your element. So like, let's say you're an Aquarius, right? You go outside and you let the wind just like blow through your hair, and you just take deep breaths and you feel refreshed, right? Let's say you're a water sign, you want to go to the ocean, or you want to swim, or you want to take a shower if you're not near like a body of water. You can just set the intention that you want to release it and just wash everything off. Like, wash your hair, wash your body, wash everything, scrub, do whatever it is that you need to do, and just intentionally get rid of it. Fire is burning it, setting like the limiting belief, writing it down, and then burning it in the fire pit or anything. And then earth could also be burying it. So let's say you want to get rid of it, right? I wouldn't necessarily say, bury paper, but you can do bay leaves. Bay leaves are used in spiritual practices and magical, have magical properties and whatnot. And you can just bury the bay leaf, give back to the earth, give the earth, something that's not going to cause it destruction, which would be paper. And I know that it's like, it's kind of crappy, like if you're like burying paper. That's actually really interesting, because trees are made of paper. So it's like kind of crappy that you're burying the paper, because it's like a dead tree. But it's also kind of like beautiful in a sense, because you're giving the tree back to where it came from by burying the paper. But it's also kind of like littering. I don't know. Do whatever makes you feel good. And also another one, I randomly thought about this the other day, but like kind of like setting your intentions into like a seed and planting the seed and planting a tree. And instead of like holding it into your body, like giving your trauma a place to go, you can bury that seed and go out there whenever you miss your old self, and you can just water it and take care of it and just sit next to it and treat it like it's your inner child and parent it like you should have been parented as a child. So that could also be something, and you grow with it, and it can just be a symbol of your growth. It doesn't have to be elemental, like it doesn't have to be because you're a fire sign, like you have to burn it. It can be whatever you feel is right in your soul. But that's what I'm getting. You guys are on a really, really good path to happiness. You need a little push, and that's okay. And this is that push. But yeah, definitely releasing these limiting beliefs and kind of giving them a place to go. Like, don't hold it all into your body. Like, release it in art, release it in music, release it in pottery, release it in stained glass, release it in the nature. Go talk to a tree, go hug a tree. Release it by screaming. Do whatever it is that you need to do physically. There's so many different ways. So whichever one resonates with your soul is going to be the best one for you. And yeah, just getting rid of that residual energy, I think, is going to be really beneficial for you in your healing process. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all the messages that I have for you guys today. If you guys are interested in more, like, I guess kind of like mental health healing videos. I do have more, so if you're interested in that and you like this one, then you can go and check that out. If not, that's also fine. You guys can also leave a comment if you'd like on the bottom of my video. I always read and comment to the comments, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.